when LeBron James spotted a familiar stain on a 10-year-old boy's faded Lakers jersey outside an arena in Cleveland. He knew something was terribly wrong. That jersey wasn't supposed to be there. It was supposed to be locked safely in his trophy room at home, the exact championship jersey he wore when he won his first title with the Lakers. But as LeBron discovered the heartbreaking truth about how his most prized possession ended up on the back of a struggling child, he faced a choice that would either destroy a lifelong friendship or create something the world had never seen before. What LeBron did next didn't just shock the sports world. It started a global movement that proved sometimes the most important. Victories happen off the court. The October air in Cleveland was crisp and cold. LeBron James pulled his jacket tighter as he walked out of Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. The Lakers had just beaten the Cavaliers 118-112, but LeBron didn't feel like celebrating. Coming back to Cleveland always made him emotional. This city would always be home. Fans crowded around the player exit, holding jerseys, basketballs, and phones. LeBron smiled and started signing autographs. He loved meeting his fans, especially the kids. Their excited faces reminded him why he played basketball in the first place. LeBron, LeBron, over here, voices called out. A little girl with pigtails held up a Lakers poster. Can you sign this for my mom? She's your biggest fan. LeBron knelt down and signed the poster. What's your name, sweetheart? Emma, she said, shyly. Well, Emma, you tell your mom that LeBron says hi, okay? Emma giggled and ran back to her family. LeBron continued signing autographs, taking pictures, and talking with fans. Then something caught his eye. A boy, maybe 10 years old, stood at the back of the crowd. He wasn't pushing forward like the other kids. He wasn't shouting for attention. He just stood there, watching. The boy was wearing a Lakers jersey. Number 23. LeBron's number. But something about that jersey made LeBron stop mid-signature. He looked closer. The jersey was faded from many washes. It had a small hole near the bottom. And there, on the left shoulder, was a tiny stain that looked familiar. Very familiar. LeBron's heart started beating faster. That stain, he remembered. Spilling champagne on his jersey during the 2020 championship celebration. The champagne had left a small, dark mark that never came out, no matter how many times the team cleaned it. But that was impossible. That jersey was supposed to be hanging in his trophy room at home in California. He had put it there himself. After the championship, it was one of his most prized possessions. LeBron stopped signing autographs and walked toward the boy. The crowd parted as he moved. Hey there, LeBron said gently. What's your name? The boy looked scared. His eyes went wide when LeBron approached him. Marcus, the boy stammered. That's a great jersey you have there, Marcus, LeBron said, trying to keep his voice calm. Where did you get it? Before Marcus could answer, a woman appeared beside him. She was young, maybe in her 30s, with tired eyes and worry lines on her face. She put her hand on Marcus's shoulder protectively. Is something wrong? The woman asked. Her voice was quiet but strong. No, nothing's wrong, LeBron said. Quickly, he didn't want to scare them. I like your son's jersey. It looks really authentic. The woman's face turned red. We bought it at a thrift store. It was all we could afford. If it's fake, we didn't know. We just thought Marcus would like it. LeBron's mind was racing. How had his championship jersey ended up in a Cleveland thrift store? He had put it in his special trophy case just 3 years ago. Someone had to have taken it. Someone close to him. Someone who had access to his house. But looking at Marcus's happy face and his mother's worried expression, LeBron made a quick decision. These people didn't need to be dragged into whatever was happening. Ma'am, that jersey looks perfect on your son, LeBron said with a smile. He wears it well. The woman's face relaxed. Thank you. That means a lot. Marcus loves basketball. He wants to be just like you when he grows up. LeBron knelt down to Marcus's level. You know what, Marcus? Being like me isn't about playing basketball. It's about working hard, being kind to people, and never giving up on your dreams. Marcus nodded seriously. My mom works really hard. She has 2 jobs. LeBron looked up at the woman. She looked embarrassed that her son had shared this information. 2 jobs? LeBron asked gently. I clean offices at night and work at a grocery store during the day, she said quietly. It's been tough since. My husband died 2 years ago, but we're making it work. LeBron's heart ached for this family. He reached into his wallet and pulled out some money. "Please, take this," he said, offering it to the woman. She shook her head firmly. "No, thank you. We don't need charity. We're doing just fine." Her pride reminded LeBron of his own mother. When he was young, his mom had worked multiple jobs too. She had always been too proud to ask for help, even when they really needed it. "It's not charity," LeBron said. "It's for Marcus. Consider it a scholarship for being such a good basketball fan." The woman hesitated, then looked at her son. Marcus was staring at LeBron with pure admiration. "What do you say, Marcus?" she asked. "Thank you, Mr. LeBron," Marcus said politely. LeBron handed the money to the woman. "What's your name?" "Sarah Williams," she said. "And this is my daughter, Emma." LeBron looked around and saw the little girl with pigtails from earlier. She was Marcus's sister. "Nice to meet you both," LeBron said. "You take care of each other, okay?" As the Williams family walked away, LeBron watched them go. Marcus kept looking back and waving. Emma skipped beside her mother, still holding her sign poster, but LeBron couldn't stop staring at that jersey. The more he looked at it, the more certain he became. That wasn't just any Lakers jersey. That was the jersey, the one he had worn during Game 6 of the NBA Finals. The one that should be safely locked away in his trophy room. LeBron pulled out his phone and quickly texted his assistant, Maya Rodriguez. "Need to check my trophy room, SAP. Think something might be missing." Maya texted back immediately, "Everything. Okay, not sure yet. Can you meet me at the house tomorrow morning? Early, of course. See you at 8 a.m. LeBron put his phone away and finished signing autographs for the remaining fans. But his mind kept returning to that jersey and that stain. He had looked at that jersey hundreds of times in his trophy room. He knew every detail, every mark, every thread. The question that kept running through his mind was simple but terrifying. If his championship jersey was now being worn by a 10-year-old boy in Cleveland, who had taken it from his house, and why? LeBron got into his car and started driving back to his hotel. The Cleveland streets looked different at night. Darker. Some neighborhoods looked like they were struggling. Empty houses, broken streetlights, people walking around looking tired and worried. That IT reminded him of his own childhood in Akron. The uncertainty, the fear, the feeling that you were always one step away from losing everything. As he drove, LeBron thought about Sarah Williams and her 2 jobs, about Marcus, who looked so happy wearing that jersey even though it was faded and had holes in it, about little Emma, who was so excited to get an autograph for her mom. They seemed like a good family, a strong family, the kind of family that would never steal anything from anyone, which meant someone else had taken his jersey and sold it. Someone who knew where he kept his most valuable possessions. Someone who had betrayed his trust. LeBron pulled into the hotel parking lot, but he didn't get out of his car right away. He sat there thinking about everyone who had access to his house. His staff, his friends, his family members. One name kept coming to mind. A name that made his chest tight with worry and sadness. Jerome Patterson. Jerome had been his best friend since they were kids growing up in Akron. They had been like brothers. When LeBron made it to the NBA, he had helped Jerome get jobs, loaned him money, even given him a key to his house for emergencies. Jerome was one of the few people who knew where LeBron kept his most special items. Jerome had been there when LeBron first showed him the trophy room. Jerome had seen how much that championship jersey meant to him, but Jerome would never steal from him. Would he? LeBron's phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. "Thank you for being so nice to us tonight. Marcus hasn't stopped talking about meeting you. Sarah Williams." LeBron smiled despite his worries. At least something good had come from this strange evening, he texted back. "Marcus seems like a great kid. You're doing an amazing job raising him and Emma." Sarah replied, "Some days I'm not so sure, but we keep trying. That's all any of us can do." LeBron wrote back that LeBron finally got out of his car and walked into the hotel. Tomorrow, he would find out if his jersey was really missing. Tomorrow, he would have to figure out who had taken it and why. But tonight, he couldn't stop thinking about a little boy named Marcus wearing a championship jersey and a mother named Sarah working 2 jobs to take care of her children. Something told him this story was just beginning. LeBron barely slept that night. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw that jersey, the faded Lakers gold, the small hole near the bottom. Most of all, that champagne stain on the left shoulder. He kept telling himself he might be wrong. Maybe it was just a similar jersey. Maybe his mind was playing tricks on him. But deep down, he knew what he had seen. At 6:30 a.m., LeBron's phone rang. It was Maya Rodriguez, his assistant. "I know I said 8 a.m., but I couldn't sleep," Maya said. "Want to meet earlier?" "I'll pick you up in 30 minutes," LeBron replied. The flight from Cleveland to Los Angeles felt like it took forever. LeBron stared out the window, watching clouds pass by. His mind kept going back to Jerome Patterson. They had grown up together in Akron. Jerome had been there through everything, the good times and the bad times. When LeBron's family didn't have much money, Jerome had shared his lunch at school. When LeBron was scared about trying out for the high school basketball team, Jerome had walked with him to the gym. When LeBron got drafted to the NBA, Jerome had cried tears of joy. LeBron had tried to help Jerome over the years. He had gotten him jobs with construction companies. He had loaned him money when Jerome's car broke down. When Jerome got married, LeBron had paid for the wedding, but Jerome had always struggled. He wasn't good at keeping jobs. He had trouble with money. His marriage had been rocky for years. Still, Jerome would never steal from him. They were like brothers. Maya met LeBron at the airport. She looked worried too. "Did you try calling Jerome?" she asked as they drove toward LeBron's house. "3 times last night." "No answer." "That's not like him." "I know." LeBron's house in Brentwood was huge and beautiful. It sat on 5 acres with perfect landscaping and a view of the mountains. But today, it didn't feel like home. It felt like a crime scene. They walked straight to LeBron's trophy room. This was his special place. The walls were covered with awards, photos, and memorabilia from his career. Championship trophies sat in glass cases. Signed basketballs lined the shelves. And there, in the center of the room, was the display case that should have held his Game 6 championship jersey. The case was empty. LeBron's heart sank. He had hoped he was wrong. He had hoped the jersey would be there, safe and sound, and that the boy in Cleveland was wearing some other jersey. But the case was definitely empty. Maya walked over to examine it. "The case isn't broken. Someone opened it properly." LeBron nodded. Only a few people knew the combination to that case. Jerome was one of them. "Wait," Maya said. "There's something here." She pointed to a small piece of paper in the corner of the case. LeBron picked it up and unfolded it. The note was written in handwriting he recognized immediately. "Sorry, King. Had to borrow this. We'll explain later." LeBron's hands shook as he read the note. King was Jerome's nickname for him. Had been since they were kids. Jerome was the only person who signed notes with just J. Maya read the note over LeBron's shoulder. "Oh my God. I can't believe it," LeBron whispered. "I can't believe he actually took it. What do you want to do?" "Should we call the police?" LeBron shook his head. "Not yet. If Jerome took it, he had a reason. I need to find him first. I need to hear his side of the story." They drove to Akron immediately. The 2-hour drive felt like a lifetime. LeBron kept trying to call Jerome, but every call went straight to voicemail. Akron looked different than LeBron remembered. Some neighborhoods looked better, new buildings, fresh paint, clean streets. But other areas looked worse. Empty lots where houses used to be, boarded up businesses, people sitting on porches looking tired and defeated. LeBron and Maya drove to the neighborhood where he and Jerome had grown up. These streets held so many memories. Playing basketball in the park until dark, walking to school together every morning, dreaming about their futures. Jerome's mother, Mrs. Patterson, still lived in the same small house. The paint was peeling, and the porch steps sagged a little. But the yard was neat and clean, and flowers grew in the front garden. LeBron knocked on the front door. After a moment, Mrs. Patterson opened it. When she saw LeBron, her face lit up with joy, then immediately crumpled with worry. "LeBron, oh honey, I'm so glad you're here," she said, pulling him into a tight hug. Mrs. Patterson had always been like a second mother to LeBron. When his own mom was working late, Mrs. Patterson would feed him dinner. When he was scared or sad, she would sit with him and tell him everything would be okay. "Hi, Mrs. P," LeBron said softly. "I'm looking for Jerome. Is he here?" Mrs. Patterson's eyes filled with tears. "Oh baby, I wish he was. I'm so worried about him." "What's wrong? What happened?" Mrs. Patterson invited them inside. The house looked exactly the same as when LeBron was a kid. Same furniture, same pictures on the walls, same smell of her famous chocolate chip cookies. They sat down at the kitchen table where LeBron had eaten hundreds of meals as a child. Jerome lost his job at the factory 6 months ago, Mrs. Patterson began, wiping her eyes with a tissue. They said they had to cut workers because business was slow. Jerome had been there for 8 years. LeBron's heart sank. He hadn't known about this. Then what happened? Maya asked gently. He tried to find another job, but it's hard out there. He applied everywhere: restaurants, stores, construction companies. Nobody was hiring, or they wanted to pay less than what he needed to support his family. Mrs. Patterson took a shaky breath before continuing. His wife, Linda, she got tired of the stress. The bills piling up, Jerome being depressed all the time. She said she couldn't handle it anymore. She took the kids and moved in with her sister in Columbus. The kids too? LeBron asked, shocked. Destiny, Jerome Jr., and little Amari. Jerome hasn't seen them in 2 months. Linda won't let him visit until he gets his life together. LeBron remembered Jerome's children. He had sent them Christmas and birthday gifts every year. Destiny was 11, smart and funny. Jerome Jr. was 9 and loved basketball just like his dad. Little Amari was only 6, with the biggest smile LeBron had ever seen. Where's Jerome staying now? LeBron asked. I don't know, honey. He's too proud to move back in with me. He says a man should be able to take care of himself. He's been staying in different places, friends' couches, sometimes his car. He comes by here every few days to shower and get a home-cooked meal. Mrs. Patterson started crying harder. I'm so scared for him, LeBron. He's lost so much weight. He looks defeated. This isn't the Jerome we know. LeBron put his arm around Mrs. Patterson's shoulders. When was the last time you saw him? 3 days ago. He seemed different that day. Nervous. He kept checking his phone and looking out the window. He said he had to take care of something important. Did he say what? No, but he hugged me extra tight when he left. He said, I love you, Mama, like he was going away for a long time. LeBron and Maya exchanged looks. 3 days ago would have been right around the time Jerome took the jersey. Mrs. P. LeBron said carefully. Did Jerome ever mention needing money? Did he ask you for help? Oh, he would never ask me for money. I'm living on Social Security, and he knows it, but I could tell he was desperate. He kept talking about his babies, wondering if they had enough to eat, if they were staying warm at night. Mrs. Patterson looked directly at LeBron. He sold your jersey, didn't he? LeBron was surprised by her direct question. How did you know? Because you're here asking about him, and you look like your heart is broken. Jerome always said that jersey was the most important thing you owned. He would only sell it if he was completely out of options. You're not angry with him? Maya asked. Mrs. Patterson shook her head. Honey, when you're a parent and your children are hungry, you'll do anything. Anything. Jerome made a choice between his pride and his baby's stomachs. He chose his babies. LeBron understood. If he had children and they were hungry, he would sell everything he owned to feed them. Do you have any idea where he might be now? LeBron asked. Check the places where you used to play as kids. The basketball court at the park. The old corner store where you bought candy. The bridge where you used to skip stones. When Jerome is hurting, he goes to places that remind him of better times. LeBron hugged Mrs. Patterson goodbye. If you see him, tell him I'm not angry. Tell him I just want to talk. I will, baby. And, LeBron, thank you for not calling the police. Jerome's not a bad person. He's just a desperate father. As they left Mrs. Patterson's house, LeBron felt confused and sad. His best friend had stolen from him, but now he understood why. Jerome hadn't been thinking about hurting LeBron. He had been thinking about saving his children. Where to now? Maya asked as they got back in the car. The basketball court, LeBron said. If Jerome's anywhere, he'll be there. The basketball court at Martin Luther King Jr. Park looked smaller than LeBron remembered. The rims were bent. The nets were torn, and weeds grew through cracks in the concrete. But this was where it all started. This was where a skinny kid from Akron first dreamed of playing in the NBA. LeBron and Maya walked around the empty court. A few teenagers were shooting hoops at the other end, but Jerome was nowhere to be seen. He's not here, Maya said. LeBron kicked at a loose piece of concrete. Let's try the corner store. They drove 6 blocks to Murphy's corner store. It was the same little shop where LeBron and Jerome had bought candy with their allowance money. The same faded Coca-Cola sign hung in the window. Inside, Mr. Murphy still worked behind the counter. He was older now, his hair completely gray, but he recognized LeBron immediately. Well, I'll be Mr. Murphy said with a big smile. LeBron James in my store. Just like old times. Hi, Mr. Murphy. I'm looking for Jerome Patterson. Have you seen him lately? Mr. Murphy's smile faded. Jerome? Yeah, I've seen him. Poor boy looks terrible. Skinny as a rail and sadder than I've ever seen him. When was the last time he was here? Yesterday morning. Bought a loaf of bread and some peanut butter. Paid with quarters and dimes. I felt so bad for him. I threw in a bag of chips for free. LeBron's heart ached. Jerome buying food with pocket change. Did he say where he was staying? No, but I saw him get into an old blue Honda in the parking lot. Car looked like it was about to fall apart. Maya wrote down the car description. Did you see which direction he went? Toward downtown. But LeBron, that boy needs help. He's not the same Jerome we used to know. They thanked Mr. Murphy and left. LeBron felt more worried with each stop. Jerome was clearly struggling worse than anyone had realized. Where next? Maya asked. The bridge. The bridge over the Cuyahoga River was a 15-minute drive from the store. When they were kids, LeBron and Jerome would ride their bikes here and spend hours skipping stones and talking about their dreams. Jerome wasn't at the bridge either, but an older man sitting on a bench remembered seeing him. Young black fellow? Looked sad, the man asked. Yeah, he was here this morning around sunrise. Just sitting on that bench over there, staring at the water. Didn't say nothing to nobody. How long did he stay? LeBron asked. About an hour. Then he got a phone call and left real quick. Seemed upset about whatever was said. LeBron and Maya got back in the car. They had been searching for 3 hours with no luck. Maybe we should try calling him again. Maya suggested that LeBron dialed Jerome's number. This time, instead of going to voicemail, someone answered. Hello. The voice was weak and tired. Jerome? It's LeBron. There was a long pause. I know why you're calling. Where are you? I want to talk. I can't. I'm too ashamed. Jerome, just tell me where you are. I'm not angry. I just want to understand. Another pause. You should be angry. I stole from you. I betrayed your trust. LeBron's voice was gentle but firm. Where are you right now? It doesn't matter. I'm leaving town anyway. There's nothing left for me here. What about your kids? What about getting them back? Jerome's voice cracked. Linda made it clear. She doesn't want a failure for a husband. She doesn't want her kids to have a father who can't provide for them. That's not true, Jerome. You're not a failure. Then why did I have to sell my best friend's championship jersey to buy food? Why am I living in my car? Why can't I even see my own children? LeBron felt tears in his eyes. Because sometimes life gets hard. That doesn't make you a failure. I have to go, Jerome said. Wait, don't hang up. The line went dead. LeBron immediately called back, but now the phone went straight to voicemail again. He turned it off, LeBron said to Maya. At least we know he's still in the area. He said he was leaving town, which means he hasn't left yet. They drove around Akron for another hour, checking parking lots and side streets for Jerome's blue Honda. Nothing. Finally, Maya suggested they go back to Cleveland to talk to the family who bought the jersey. Maybe they remember more details about who sold it to them, she said. They drove back to Cleveland and found the thrift store address that Sarah Williams had mentioned. The store was called Second Chance's Thrift Shop, a small, crowded place. Filled with used clothes, furniture, and household items. The owner was an elderly Chinese woman named Mrs. Chun. She was organizing a rack of winter coats when LeBron and Maya walked in. Can I help you? Mrs. Chun asked. Hi, I'm LeBron James. I was wondering if you could help me with information about a jersey that was sold here recently. Mrs. Chin's eyes widened. You're the basketball player. My grandson loves you. Thank you. The jersey I'm asking about was a Lakers number 23. A man would have brought it in, probably sometime in the last few days. Mrs. Chin nodded immediately. Oh yes, I remember that jersey. And I remember the man who brought it. Very sad young man. He kept saying he was sorry. Sorry. He said the jersey belonged to his famous friend, but his friend would understand. Why he had to sell it? He said his friend had a good heart. LeBron's chest tightened. Even while betraying him, Jerome had faith that LeBron would understand. How much did he sell it for? Maya asked. He wanted $50. I told him I could give him $100. That jersey looked expensive, but he said $50 was all he needed. Just enough for groceries and gas. $50. LeBron's championship jersey worth thousands of dollars, sold for $50 so Jerome could buy food and put gas in his car. Did he say anything else? LeBron asked. He had 3 children with him. Beautiful kids, but they looked tired and hungry. The oldest girl kept asking if they were going to find a place to sleep that night. The man, your friend, he told them. Everything would be okay, but I could see he was scared. His children were with him? LeBron was shocked. Jerome had his kids back. Yes. The little one fell asleep in my chair while the man filled out the paperwork. The middle boy kept looking at toys, but he didn't ask for anything. Good children. Patient children. This changed everything. If Jerome had his kids with him, that meant Linda had let them visit, or something else had happened. Did you see what kind of car they were driving? Old blue Honda. The man had to try 3 times to start it when they left. Which direction did they go? Toward the highway. But that was 2 days ago. LeBron thanked Mrs. Chun and left his phone number in case Jerome came back. Outside the store, Maya looked at her notes. So Jerome has his kids with him, he's driving an unreliable car, and he only took $50 for your jersey. That tells me he's planning something. Like what? Like maybe he's not just leaving town. Maybe he's trying to start over somewhere else with his children. LeBron's phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. Mr. LeBron, this is Sarah Williams, the mom from last night. I wanted to let you know that Marcus hasn't taken off your jersey since he met you. Thank you for being so kind to us. LeBron showed the text to Maya. The jersey is making that boy happy. Even if it was taken from me, at least it's doing some good. Should we text her back? Ask if she remembers anything else about the man who sold it? LeBron thought for a moment. No, I don't want to worry her or make her think she did something wrong by buying it. They got back in the car. It was getting late, and they still hadn't found Jerome. Where else would he go? Maya asked that LeBron thought about all the places he and Jerome had been together as kids. Then he remembered something Mrs. Patterson had said. When Jerome is hurting, he goes to places that remind him of better times. The YMCA, LeBron said suddenly. What? When we were kids, Jerome's family didn't have much money. Sometimes they couldn't afford to heat their house in the winter. Jerome and his mom would go to the YMCA to take warm showers and use the bathroom facilities. If he's living in his car with his kids, he might be doing the same thing. Maya started the car. Which YMCA? The one on Market Street. It's the closest to his mom's house. As they drove toward the YMCA, LeBron felt a mix of hope and dread. He wanted to find Jerome, but he was scared of what condition his friend might be in. When they pulled into the YMCA parking lot, LeBron saw it immediately. A beat-up blue Honda Civic parked in the far corner. That's got to be it, Maya said. They parked and waited. LeBron checked his watch. 2:45 p.m. to AT exactly 3:05 p.m. The doors of the YMCA opened, and Jerome Patterson walked out with 3 children beside him. That LeBron's heart broke when he saw Jerome. His childhood friend looked like he had lost 30 pounds. His clothes hung loose on his thin frame. His face was gaunt, and his eyes looked tired and empty, but the children beside him looked clean and healthy. Jerome had made sure they were taken care of, even if it meant he wasn't eating enough himself. The oldest was Destiny, now 11 years old with long braids and her father's intelligent eyes. Jerome Jr., 9 years old, walked close to his dad, carrying a worn backpack. Little Amari, only 6, held her father's hand tightly. She was wearing a pink dress that was too big for her, but it was clean and pressed. Jerome helped each child into the beat-up Honda Civic. He was gentle with them, making sure their seatbelts were fastened properly. LeBron could see him saying something that made Amari giggle. Even in his desperate situation, Jerome was being a good father. Jerome walked around to the driver's side and froze when he saw LeBron's car. For a moment, the 2 men just stared at each other across the parking lot. Jerome's shoulders slumped. He looked like he wanted to disappear. LeBron got out of his car slowly. He didn't want to scare the children or make Jerome feel trapped. Uncle LeBron, Destiny shouted from inside the Honda. She had rolled down her window and was waving excitedly. Uncle LeBron, Jerome Jr. echoed, trying to unbuckle his seatbelt. Little Amari pressed her face against the window, smiling widely. The children remembered him. Despite everything that was happening, they were happy to see him. Jerome quickly moved to stop them. Kids, stay in the car. But Daddy, it's Uncle LeBron. Destiny protested. I said stay in the car. Jerome's voice was firm but not angry. LeBron walked slowly toward Jerome. Maya stayed by their car, giving the friends space to talk. When LeBron got close enough, He could see that Jerome couldn't look him in the eyes. His friend stared at the ground, his hands shaking slightly. "Hey, Jerome," LeBron said quietly. "I know what you're going to say," Jerome replied, his voice barely above a whisper. "Do you?" Jerome finally looked up. His eyes were red, like he had been crying. "You trusted me. When we were kids, you trusted me with everything. Your bike when you went on vacation. Your basketball cards. Your biggest dreams and your worst fears. And I stole from you." LeBron could hear the pain in his friend's voice. "Tell me what happened." "You know what happened. I took your jersey and I sold it for $50. Jerome's voice cracked. $50, LeBron. I sold your championship jersey for $50. Why didn't you call me? Why didn't you ask for help?" Jerome's voice got louder, and LeBron could see the frustration and shame pouring out. Because I'm supposed to be a man. I'm supposed to take care of my family. How could I call my successful friend and say, "Hey, remember me? I'm a failure now. Can you help?" Through the car windows, LeBron could see the children watching. Destiny looked worried. Jerome Jr. had his arm around little Amari, who was starting to cry because her daddy was upset. "You think I forgot where I came from?" LeBron asked, his voice gentle but strong. "You think I forgot who was there when my mom was working 3 jobs? Who shared his lunch with me when we didn't have food? Who walked with me to every basketball tryout because I was too scared to go alone?" Jerome wiped his eyes with the back of his hand. "That was different." "No, it wasn't." LeBron stepped closer. "We were family then. We're family now. I betrayed you. You fed your children." Jerome looked confused by LeBron's response. "The jersey's gone," Jerome said. "Some family bought it from the thrift store. I can't get it back for you. I don't want it back." "What?" LeBron looked toward the car where Jerome's 3 children were waiting. "That jersey won me a championship. But now it's doing something more important. It's helping a family. That's worth more than any trophy." Jerome stared at LeBron like he couldn't believe what he was hearing. "But I stole from you," Jerome repeated. "You borrowed something when you were desperate. There's a difference." "Daddy," Amari's small voice called from the car. "Are you okay?" Jerome turned toward his daughter. "I'm okay, baby. Daddy's just talking to Uncle LeBron." "Is Uncle LeBron mad at you?" Destiny asked through the window. LeBron walked over to the car so the children could hear him clearly. "No, sweetheart. I'm not mad at your daddy. I'm proud of him." "Proud?" Jerome Jr. asked. "Your daddy loves you so much that he would do anything to take care of you. That makes him a hero, not a failure." Little Amari clapped her hands. "Daddy's a hero." Jerome started crying again, but this time the tears looked different. Less shame, more relief. "Where have you been staying?" LeBron asked Jerome quietly. "In the car mostly. Sometimes Linda lets the kids stay with her sister, but she won't let me in the house. She says I can have the kids for a few days, but then I have to bring them back." LeBron looked at the small Honda. "All 4 of you have been sleeping in that car." "It's not so bad," Jerome said quickly. "I put blankets in the back for the kids. And we come to the YMCA every day so they can shower and use the bathroom. The kids think it's like camping." LeBron's heart ached. Jerome was trying so hard to protect his children from understanding how bad their situation really was. "Jerome, I want to help you. I can't take charity from you. I've already taken enough." "It's not charity. It's family helping family." Maya had been watching from a distance, but now she walked over. "Jerome, right?" "I'm Maya, LeBron's assistant." Jerome nodded politely. "LeBron talks about you all the time," Maya continued. "About how you two grew up together. About how you always had his back." "I don't anymore," Jerome said sadly. "Yes, you do," LeBron said firmly. "Even when you took my jersey, you were protecting me." "What do you mean?" "You could have taken anything from my house. Expensive watches, jewelry, electronics. Things worth much more money. But you only took one thing, and you left me a note explaining why. Even in your desperation, you were still thinking about our friendship." Jerome hadn't thought about it that way. "Daddy," Destiny called from the car. "I'm hungry." Jerome's face immediately filled with worry. "I know, baby. We'll get food soon." LeBron could see that Jerome was trying to figure out how to buy dinner with whatever little money he had left. "How about we all go get something to eat?" LeBron suggested. "My treat." "LeBron, I can't. The kids are hungry, Jerome. Let me feed them." Jerome looked at his children's faces pressed against the car windows. They were trying to be patient, But LeBron could see they were tired and hungry. "Okay," Jerome said quietly. "But just for the kids." "Uncle LeBron," Amari shouted, "are you coming to dinner with us? If that's okay with you guys." All three children cheered as they got ready to leave the parking lot. Jerome pulled LeBron aside. "Why are you being so nice to me? I hurt you." LeBron put his hand on Jerome's shoulder. "Because that's what family does. We forgive each other. We help each other. And we never give up on each other." Jerome nodded, too emotional to speak. "But Jerome, I need you to promise me something." "What?" "Promise me you'll never feel like you have to choose between your pride and your children's well-being again. Promise me you'll call me before things get that bad." Jerome hesitated. "I promise." As they drove to the restaurant, LeBron couldn't stop thinking about what he wanted to do next. Buying dinner was just the beginning. Jerome and his children needed much more than a meal. They needed hope. They needed a future. They needed to know that someone believed in them. LeBron had an idea, a big idea, something that would not only help Jerome and his family, but could help thousands of other families going through the same struggles. But first, he needed to make sure Jerome was ready to accept help. Real help. The kind of help that could change everything. The restaurant LeBron chose was a family place called Tony's Diner. It wasn't fancy, but it served good food and had a kids' menu with pictures. Jerome's children needed something familiar and comforting. As they sat in a corner booth, LeBron watched Jerome's kids order their food. Destiny asked for chicken strips and fries. Jerome Jr. wanted a cheeseburger. Little Amari pointed at a picture of pancakes and said, "These ones, please." "Pancakes for dinner?" Jerome asked gently. "It's okay," LeBron told the waitress. "She can have whatever she wants." When the food came, the children ate hungrily but politely. Jerome barely touched his own meal. He kept watching his kids eat, making sure they had enough. "Daddy, aren't you hungry?" Destiny asked. "I'm fine, sweetheart. You eat up." LeBron noticed Jerome pushing food around on his plate instead of eating it. He was probably used to eating less so his children could eat more. After dinner, LeBron suggested they go to his hotel. "I got a suite with 2 bedrooms. The kids can watch TV and get a good night's sleep." Jerome hesitated. "LeBron, we can't keep taking things from you." One night, LeBron said, "just so the kids can sleep in real beds." Jerome looked at his children, who were tired from their long day. "Okay." One night, at the hotel, the children were amazed by the big rooms and the huge TV. Maya had gone to the store and bought them new toothbrushes, pajamas, and some toys. "This is like a castle," Amari exclaimed, jumping on one of the beds. "Be careful, baby," Jerome warned. "It's okay," LeBron said. "Let them play." While the children watched cartoons in the living room, LeBron and Jerome sat in the bedroom. Jerome still looked uncomfortable, like he didn't deserve to be there. "Jerome, I want to talk to you about something important," LeBron began. "If this is about paying you back for the jersey, I don't know how long it will take." "It's not about the jersey." LeBron leaned forward. "I want to help you, but not the way you think." Jerome looked confused. "Tomorrow, I'm going to hold a press conference. I'm going to tell the world what happened." Jerome's eyes went wide. "LeBron, no? You'll embarrass me in front of everyone. You'll ruin what's left of my reputation. Sit down and listen to me." LeBron said calmly, "I'm not going to embarrass you. I'm going to honor you." Jerome sat back down, but he still looked panicked. Maya pulled out her laptop and showed Jerome the plan she and LeBron had been working on during the drive to the hotel. "We're announcing something called the Second Chance Foundation," Maya explained. "It's for families like yours, parents who are struggling but fighting to take care of their children." LeBron leaned forward. "Jerome, there are thousands of families just like yours. Parents who lost jobs, who are living in their cars, who are choosing between paying rent and buying food. They're not lazy. They're not failures. They just need help." "But what about your jersey? What about what I did?" "That's the beautiful part," LeBron smiled. "Your story, selling my jersey to feed your kids, that's going to inspire people to help other families. We're going to turn your worst moment into hope for thousands of people." Jerome shook his head firmly. "I can't let you do this. People will think I'm a thief. They'll judge me. People will think you're a father who loves his children," Maya said gently. "That's what LeBron is going to tell them." Through the door, they could hear the children laughing at the cartoons on TV. It was the first time Jerome had heard them laugh freely in months. "There's more," LeBron continued. I want you to be the foundation's director. You understand what these families are going through because you lived it. LeBron, I don't have any experience running a foundation. I don't have a college degree. I just lost my job at a factory. You have the most important experience, LeBron said firmly. You know what it feels like to choose between your pride and your children's hunger. You chose your children. That makes you exactly the right person for this job. Jerome was quiet for a long time. He looked toward the living room where his children were playing safely and happily. What about my kids? He finally asked. Where will we live? I can't keep moving them around. I bought a house, LeBron said simply. What? In Akron, near good schools. 3 bedrooms, a big backyard. Safe neighborhood. It's yours. Jerome started crying. Why are you doing this? Why are you helping me after what I did? Because when we were kids, you shared your lunch with me when my family didn't have food. Now I'm sharing mine with you. Maya showed Jerome pictures of the house on her laptop. It was a beautiful 2-story home with a white fence around the yard. There was a basketball hoop in the driveway and a swing set in the back. The foundation will pay you a good salary, LeBron continued. Enough to support your family and get back on your feet. But more importantly, you'll be helping other parents who are going through what you just went through. Jerome stared at the pictures of the house. What if Linda wants to come back? What if she wants to try again? Then you'll have a stable home to offer her. You'll have a job that matters. You'll be the man you always were, just with the support you needed. I don't know what to say. Say yes, LeBron said. Say yes to helping other families. Say yes to showing your kids that even when things get really hard, good people help each other. Jerome looked toward the living room again. Destiny was reading a book to her younger siblings. Jerome Jr. was building something with the toy blocks Maya had bought. Amari was cuddled up with a new stuffed animal, almost falling asleep. They've been through so much, Jerome said quietly. They've been so brave. They never complained, even when we were sleeping in the car. They learned that from you, LeBron said. You taught them to be strong and kind, even when life is unfair. Jerome wiped his eyes. If I do this press conference with you, if I tell our story, will it really help other families? It will help more families than we can count, Maya said. Stories like yours show people that anyone can face hard times. It makes it okay for other parents to ask for help, and the foundation will really help people. We're starting with $50 million, LeBron said. But the money isn't the most important part. The most important part is letting families know they're not alone. Jerome was quiet for several minutes. Finally, he spoke. When I sold your jersey, I felt like the worst friend in the world. But if telling that story can help other families, what do you say? LeBron asked. Jerome looked at his children one more time, then back at LeBron. I say yes. Let's help some families. LeBron smiled and put his arm around Jerome's shoulders. Tomorrow, we're going to change the world. Tomorrow, Jerome said, we're going to show people that sometimes your worst mistakes can become your greatest purpose. Maya closed her laptop. I'll call the press conference for tomorrow afternoon. LeBron, are you ready for this? I've been ready my whole life, LeBron said. I just needed the right story to tell. As they prepared for bed, Jerome tucked his children into the comfortable hotel beds. They fell asleep quickly, feeling safe and secure for the first time in months. Jerome sat by their beds for a long time, watching them sleep peacefully. Tomorrow, everything would change. Tomorrow, his story of shame would become a story of hope. And tomorrow, the world would learn that sometimes the most important victories happen off the basketball court. The press room at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse was packed. Reporters filled every seat, and TV cameras lined the back wall. Local news stations, ESPN, CNN, and sports reporters from around the country had all shown up. They expected LeBron to announce a new business deal. Maybe a movie project. Perhaps news about his basketball future. None of them had any idea what was really coming. LeBron stood backstage with Jerome, who was wearing a new navy blue suit that Maya had bought him that morning. Jerome's hands were shaking. I can't do this, Jerome whispered. Look at all those cameras. What if I say something wrong? What if people think I'm just looking for handouts? You're not asking for handouts, LeBron said calmly. You're offering to help other families. There's a big difference. Jerome's children were sitting in the front row with Maya. Destiny wore a pretty yellow dress. Jerome Jr. had on a small suit that made him look very grown up. Little Amari was in a pink dress with ribbons in her hair. All 3 children looked nervous but excited. Daddy looks handsome, Amari whispered loudly to Maya, making several reporters nearby smile that LeBron walked to the podium first. The room immediately became quiet. Camera flashes lit up the room like lightning. "Thank you all for coming," LeBron began. His voice was strong and clear. "I want to tell you a story. It's about friendship, family, and what really matters in life." The reporters leaned forward, pens ready. 3 days ago, I was in Cleveland signing autographs after our game. I noticed a young boy wearing a Lakers jersey, number 23, my number. But this wasn't just any jersey. LeBron paused and looked directly at Jerome, who was still standing at the side of the stage. "This was my championship jersey, the one I wore in Game 6 of the 2020 NBA Finals, the one that should have been safely locked in my trophy room at home." Murmurs went through the crowd. Several reporters started typing quickly on their phones. "I want to introduce you to my childhood friend, Jerome Patterson." Jerome walked slowly to the podium. His legs felt weak, but he kept moving forward. "Jerome and I grew up together in Akron," LeBron continued. "When my family didn't have much, Jerome shared his lunch with me. When I was scared to try out for the basketball team, Jerome walked with me to the gym. He was there for every important moment of my life." The room was completely silent now. 6 months ago, Jerome lost his job at a factory where he had worked for 8 years. He tried to find another job, but nothing paid enough to support his family. His wife left him and took their 3 children. Jerome was living in his car, trying to figure out how to get his family back. LeBron put his hand on Jerome's shoulder. "My friend Jerome sold my championship jersey for $50 to buy food for his children." The room erupted. Reporters started shouting questions. Camera flashes went crazy, but LeBron raised his hand for quiet. "And I have never been more proud of anything that jersey has done." The shouting stopped. Everyone was confused that a reporter from ESPN raised her hand. "LeBron, are you saying you're okay with theft?" "I'm saying I'm okay with a father doing whatever it takes to feed his children. Jerome didn't steal from me. He borrowed something that ended up exactly where it needed to be." Another reporter called out, "What happens to Jerome now? Are you pressing charges?" LeBron smiled and put his arm around Jerome's shoulders. "Jerome is going to help me launch the Second Chance Foundation. We're going to help families across America who are struggling but fighting to survive." "How much money are you putting into this foundation?" asked a reporter from CNN. $50 million to start, LeBron announced. The room buzzed with excitement, but LeBron wasn't finished. "However, this foundation isn't just about my money. It's about all of us working together." Jerome's story shows us that good people sometimes face impossible choices. Our job is to make sure they don't have to choose between their dignity and their children's well-being. A reporter from the Cleveland Plain Dealer asked, "What about the family who bought the jersey?" LeBron nodded to Jerome, who stepped to the microphone. His voice was shaking, but his words were clear. "Yesterday, I was ashamed of what I did," Jerome said. "Today, I understand that sometimes our worst moments can become our greatest purpose." The Williams family, Sarah, Marcus, and little Emma, they bought that jersey at a thrift store. But they're getting much more than a jersey. LeBron took over. The Williams family is getting a full college scholarship fund for both kids, a new home, and Sarah is getting job training to build a better life for her family. The reporters were scribbling notes as fast as they could. "One more thing," LeBron said, his voice getting stronger. "That jersey, wherever it is right now, it represents something bigger than basketball. It represents the idea that we take care of each other, that we lift each other up, that we don't let families fall through the cracks." A reporter from Fox Sports asked, "Jerome, how do you feel about LeBron's response to what you did?" Jerome looked out at the crowd of reporters, then at his children in the front row. Destiny gave him a thumbs up. Jerome Jr. was smiling proudly. Amari blew him a kiss. "LeBron taught me that friendship isn't about never making mistakes," Jerome said. "It's about what you do when someone you love is in trouble." He didn't just forgive me. He turned my mistake into hope for thousands of families. "What will the Second Chance Foundation do exactly?" asked a reporter from USA Today. Maya stepped to another microphone that had been set up. "The foundation will provide emergency financial assistance, job training, childcare support, and housing assistance for families in crisis. But most importantly, it will provide hope and dignity. We're not just giving people money," LeBron added. We're giving them tools to rebuild their lives. And we're showing them that struggling doesn't make you a failure. It makes you human. The questions continued for another 20 minutes. Reporters wanted to know about funding, about how families could apply for help, about whether other athletes would get involved. Finally, LeBron held up his hand one last time. "I want to end with this," he said. "When I was a kid in Akron, people invested in me. Coaches, teachers, community members. They saw potential in a scared boy and helped him believe in himself. Today, we're announcing that we're going to do the same thing for families all across America." He looked directly into the main TV camera. If you're a parent struggling to make ends meet, if you're choosing between paying rent and buying groceries, if you're sleeping in your car with your children, you are not alone. You are not a failure. You are a fighter, and we want to fight with you. Jerome stepped back to the microphone for the last time. 3 days ago, I felt like the worst father in the world, he said. Today, I feel like the luckiest man alive. Not because my problems are solved, but because I learned that asking for help doesn't make you weak. It makes you smart. After the press conference, Jerome and LeBron stood together outside the arena. The reporters had left to file their stories. The cameras were being packed away. "I can't believe we just did that," Jerome said. "How do you feel?" Jerome thought for a moment. "Scared, excited, hopeful, like maybe my kids will be proud of their dad again." "They were already proud of you," LeBron said. "They just didn't know how to show it when you were hurting so much." Jerome's phone buzzed with a text message. He looked at it, and his eyes filled with tears. "What is it?" LeBron asked. "It's from Linda. She saw the press conference on TV. She wants to talk." LeBron smiled. "See, I told you everything was going to change." As they walked toward the parking garage, neither of them had any idea how much the world was about to change. The story they had just told would spread faster and farther than either of them could imagine, and it would inspire something neither of them expected. Within 1 hour of the press conference ending, the story was everywhere. Social media exploded, with posts about LeBron, Jerome, and the championship jersey. News websites crashed from too many people trying to read the story at the same time. But the response wasn't what anyone expected. At the Williams family home in Cleveland, Sarah couldn't believe what was happening. Her phone had been ringing nonstop since the press conference ended. Reporters wanted to talk to the family who bought LeBron's jersey, but the attention from reporters wasn't what amazed Sarah the most. It was what was happening in her own neighborhood. Mrs. Rodriguez from 3 houses down knocked on Sarah's door with a casserole dish in her hands. "I saw the news," Mrs. Rodriguez said. "I wanted you to know that you're not the only one who's been struggling." Sarah invited her in for coffee. As they sat at the kitchen table, Mrs. Rodriguez shared her own story. "My husband lost his job 4 months ago," she said quietly. "We've been getting food from the church food bank, but I was too embarrassed to tell anyone. When I saw LeBron talking about how it's okay to need help, I realized I don't have to be ashamed." Before Mrs. Rodriguez left, she gave Sarah her phone number. "If you ever need anything, babysitting, a ride to the store, someone to talk to, you call me." 20 minutes later, another neighbor knocked on the door. Then another. By evening, Sarah had met more neighbors than she had in the 2 years she'd lived on the street. Mr. Johnson from across the street admitted he had lost his job 2 months ago and was too proud to tell his wife. Mrs. Chun from the corner house revealed she had been working 3 jobs to pay for her mother's medical bills. The young couple next door shared that they were behind on their rent and scared of being evicted. "It's like LeBron's story made it okay for all of us to admit we're struggling," Sarah told a reporter from the local news. "Nobody has to pretend everything is perfect anymore." Meanwhile, in Akron, something similar was happening at Jerome's new house. Families kept stopping by, not to ask for handouts, but to share their own stories and offer support to each other. Jerome realized he wasn't just running a foundation office from his home. He was accidentally creating a community support center. Maya called LeBron with an update that shocked him. "The Second Chance Foundation website crashed," she said. "We've had over 500,000 visitors in 6 hours." "That's incredible," LeBron said. "It gets better. We've received over $2 million in donations already. But here's the amazing part. Most of the donations are small. $5, $10, $25. Teachers, nurses, mechanics, retirees, regular people giving what they can." LeBron was amazed. "How many donors?" "Over 75,000 people have donated so far. But the most surprising response came from other professional athletes. Steph Curry was the first. He posted on social media, "LeBron's story about friendship and family hits different. The Golden State Warriors organization is donating $1 million to the Second Chance Foundation. We're also starting similar programs in Oakland and San Francisco." Then, Serena Williams posted, "As a mother, Jerome's story breaks my heart and inspires me. I'm pledging $500,000 and creating a program specifically for single mothers who are struggling." Tom Brady, even though he was retired, contributed $750,000 and challenged other retired athletes to match his donation. Within 48 hours, professional athletes had pledged over $8 million to the cause. But the movement spread far beyond sports. Celebrities started sharing their own stories of hidden struggles. A famous actress revealed she had once lived in her car with her children. A popular singer talked about his family losing their home when he was young. A comedian shared how his mother had worked 4 jobs to keep their family together. Business leaders joined in too. The CEO of a major grocery store chain announced that his company would start a program allowing customers to anonymously pay for other families' groceries. Local restaurants began offering free meals to families in need. Clothing stores created programs to give work clothes to people going on job interviews. Maya showed LeBron the numbers on her laptop. They were sitting in Jerome's new living room, watching the news coverage. "In 3 days, we've raised $18 million from over 100,000 different donors," she said. "But more importantly, we've received 15,000 applications from families who need help." LeBron was reading through some of the applications. Each one told a story similar to Jerome's. Good people facing impossible situations. Maria Santos from Phoenix wrote, "I was a nurse for 10 years until the hospital closed. Now I work 3 part-time jobs and still can't pay all my bills. My teenage son wants to quit school to work, but I know education is his way out." David Kim from Detroit wrote, "The auto plant closed 6 months ago. I've been looking for work every day, but nothing pays enough to support my 2 daughters. We're living in my car, but my girls don't know. They think we're on a long camping trip." Patricia Brown from Atlanta wrote, "My husband died in a car accident last year. I'm trying to raise 4 kids alone while working 2 jobs. Some days I don't know how we're going to make it, but I keep going because my children need me. We can't help everyone who applies," Maya said gently. "But we can help some," LeBron replied. "And maybe we can inspire others to help the rest." His phone rang. It was Jerome. "LeBron, you need to turn on Channel 5 News right now," Jerome said. His voice sounded excited and amazed that LeBron switched on the TV. The reporter was standing outside a grocery store in Cleveland. "It's being called the Jersey effect," the reporter said. Inspired by LeBron James' story about his friend selling a championship jersey to buy food, grocery stores across the country are reporting something unusual. Customers are anonymously paying for other families' groceries. The camera showed families crying with gratitude as cashiers told them their groceries had been paid for by strangers. Store managers were amazed by the kindness they were seeing every day. One customer had left a note that said, "Pass it forward. We're all in this together." Another note read, "I was helped when I needed it most. Now it's my turn to help someone else." In this store alone, the reporter continued, over 200 families have had their groceries paid for by anonymous donors in the past 3 days. The story cut to interviews with families who had been helped. A single mother with 3 kids said, "I was counting my change to see if I could afford milk for my children. When the cashier told me someone had paid for everything, I just started crying. Not just because of the help, but because someone cared." An elderly man said, "I've been eating canned soup for weeks because that's all I could afford on my social security. Today, a stranger paid for a whole week of real groceries. I don't even know how to thank them." LeBron watched the news story with tears in his eyes. "Jerome, do you see what you started?" "What I started?" Jerome laughed. "LeBron, this is all because of you." "No," LeBron said firmly. "This is because you chose love over pride. You chose your children over your reputation. That choice inspired all of this." Maya was taking notes as she watched the news coverage. The Jersey effect is spreading to other cities. Phoenix, Denver, Nashville, Seattle. Everywhere the story aired, people started helping each other. The news story ended with the reporter saying, What started as one man's desperate act to feed his children has become a nationwide movement of kindness. People across America are discovering that helping each other feels just as good as being helped. LeBron's phone buzzed with a text from Sarah Williams. "Marcus wanted me to send you this picture." The picture showed Marcus wearing his faded Lakers jersey, but he was standing next to a table full of canned food. The caption read, "We're collecting food for other families because Uncle LeBron taught us that helping people is more important than keeping things." LeBron showed the picture to Maya. A 10-year-old boy gets it. He understands what this is really about. "What's that?" Maya asked. "It's not about basketball. It's not about money. It's not even about the jersey. It's about people taking care of people." Jerome's voice came through the phone. "LeBron, I have to tell you something. Linda called. She wants to come home. She said watching the press conference made her remember why she fell in love with me in the first place." "That's amazing, Jerome. But that's not even the best part. She said she's proud to be married to someone who would sacrifice everything for his children. She said she wants to help with the foundation." LeBron smiled. "Looks like you're getting your family back." "We all are," Jerome said. "All of us who thought we were alone. All of us who thought we had failed. We're all getting our families back." As LeBron hung up the phone, Maya showed him one more thing on her laptop. It was a map of the United States with small lights showing where people had made donations to the Second Chance Foundation. The entire map was covered with lights. Thousands and thousands of them, representing people who wanted to help families they had never met. "Look at that," Maya said softly. "The whole country is lit up with kindness." LeBron stared at the map. 3 days ago, he had been upset about a missing jersey. Now, that same jersey had started a movement that was changing lives across America. But the biggest surprise was yet to come. 2 weeks after the press conference, Marcus Williams was still wearing the Lakers jersey every day. It had become his favorite shirt, even though his mom kept trying to get him to change clothes so she could wash it. "Marcus, honey, you need to take that jersey off," Sarah said as he sat at the kitchen table doing his homework. "It needs to be cleaned." "But Mom, what if something happens to it while it's in the washing machine?" Marcus worried. "What if it shrinks or the colors fade more?" Sarah smiled. Her son had become very protective of that jersey since learning it belonged to LeBron James. The doorbell rang. Sarah opened it to find a well-dressed woman with kind eyes in a professional briefcase. "Mrs. Williams? My name is Dr. Jennifer Hayes. I'm a sports memorabilia expert from New York. I've been following your family's story in the news." Sarah was curious but cautious. "What can I do for you?" "I specialize in authenticating valuable sports items," Dr. Hayes explained. "That jersey your son is wearing. I was wondering if I could examine it. I have some information that might interest you." Sarah invited her in. Marcus looked worried when he heard the word examine. "Am I in trouble?" Marcus asked. "Did I do something wrong with the jersey?" "Not at all, sweetheart." Dr. Hayes smiled warmly. "I just want to make sure it's really what we think it is." Dr. Hayes pulled out a special magnifying glass and some small tools from her briefcase. She examined the jersey very carefully while Marcus watched nervously. She checked the stitching, the fabric, the NBA hologram tags. She looked at the faded areas and the small stains. Her eyes got wider and wider as she examined each detail. "Mrs. Williams," Dr. Hayes said quietly, "this isn't just any championship jersey. This is the jersey, the exact one LeBron wore in the final minutes of Game 6 when the Lakers won the championship." "How can you tell?" Sarah asked. "Look here." Dr. Hayes pointed to tiny details that most people would never notice. "This thread pattern is unique to game-worn jerseys. These microscopic stains are from the champagne celebration. There's even DNA evidence in the fabric that matches LeBron's." Sarah sat down hard in her chair. "How much is it worth?" "At auction, this jersey could sell for $150,000. Maybe more." Marcus's eyes got huge. $150,000. "But that's not why I'm here." Dr. Hayes continued quickly. "I'm here because of what this jersey has already accomplished." She pulled out her tablet and showed them a website called The Jersey Project. "After your family's story became famous, something amazing started happening," Dr. Hayes explained. "People began donating their own valuable sports items to help families in need." The website showed hundreds of items that people had donated. A signed Tom Brady football from Boston, a Kobe Bryant jersey from Los Angeles, a complete baseball card collection from a kid in Chicago, a signed hockey stick from someone in Canada. All of these items are being auctioned online, Dr. Hayes said. Every penny goes to help struggling families through various charities and foundations. Marcus looked confused. People are giving away their special sports stuff. Yes, Dr. Hayes nodded. Your jersey inspired them. One family in Texas donated a signed Cowboys helmet that was worth $25,000. A grandmother in Florida gave a Mickey Mantle baseball card worth $40,000. A teenager in Oregon donated his entire basketball shoe collection. Sarah was amazed. How much money has been raised? So far, $2.3 million. And it's growing every day. People call it the Jersey Project because your jersey started it all. Dr. Hayes showed them more examples. The website had stories from donors, explaining why they gave their items away. One man wrote, I had this signed football sitting on my shelf for 10 years. When I heard about Marcus and his family, I realized it could do more good helping someone than just collecting dust in my house. A woman wrote, my son collected baseball cards his whole childhood. When he heard about the jersey story, he said, Mom, can we help too? So we donated his whole collection. Your jersey didn't just feed one family, Dr. Hayes told Marcus. It started a movement that's now feeding hundreds of families. Marcus looked at the jersey he was wearing. So this old jersey is really that important? Marcus, Dr. Hayes said gently, this jersey has traveled an incredible journey. It went from LeBron's trophy case to Jerome when he needed to feed his children, to your family when you needed something special, and now it's inspiring people all over the world to help each other. Sarah looked at her son. Marcus, Dr. Hayes has something to ask us. Dr. Hayes nodded. Several collectors have asked me to make you an offer for the jersey. They want to buy it and donate all the money to LeBron's Second Chance Foundation. How much? Marcus asked. $175,000. Marcus was quiet for a long time. He looked at his little sister Emma, who was coloring at the table and listening to everything. If we sell it, will it help more kids like Emma? Marcus asked. Yes, Dr. Hayes said. It would help many, many kids and their families. Marcus thought some more. What would LeBron want us to do? Sarah knelt down next to her son. What do you think LeBron would want? Marcus remembered what LeBron had said at the arena. Being like me isn't about playing basketball. It's about working hard, being kind to people, and never giving up on your dreams. LeBron would want us to help other families, Marcus said finally. Just like Uncle Jerome helped his kids, and LeBron helped Uncle Jerome. Marcus carefully took off the jersey and handed it to Dr. Hayes. Here, what can you make? Sure, the people who buy it know that it's not just a jersey. It's a reminder that families should take care of each other. Dr. Hayes had tears in her eyes. I promise, Marcus. I'll make sure they understand. As Dr. Hayes prepared to leave with the jersey, Marcus ran to his room. He came back wearing a different shirt, a plain blue t-shirt with Second Chance Foundation printed on the front. LeBron sent this to all the kids in his program, Marcus explained to Dr. Hayes. He said this shirt is worth more than any jersey because it represents hope. After Dr. Hayes left, Sarah hugged her son tightly. I'm proud of you, Marcus. That was a very grown-up decision. Mom, do you think the jersey is sad to leave us? Sarah thought about the question. I think the jersey is happy. It got to make our family smile for a while, and now it gets to help lots of other families smile too. Like it's going on another adventure? Exactly like that. That evening, Marcus called LeBron to tell him about Dr. Hayes and the decision to sell the jersey. You did the right thing, Marcus, LeBron said. That jersey was always meant to help people. You just helped it continue its journey. Mr. LeBron, will the jersey be okay without us? LeBron smiled, even though Marcus couldn't see him through the phone. Marcus, that jersey is going to be more than okay. It's going to do something amazing, something that will surprise everyone. What's going to happen to it? You'll see, LeBron said mysteriously. But I promise you, the jersey's biggest adventure is still ahead. As Marcus went to bed that night, he looked at his Second Chance Foundation t-shirt hanging on his chair. Tomorrow he would wear it to school and tell his friends about helping other families. The jersey was gone, but the feeling of helping others was still there. And that feeling, Marcus realized, was better than owning any piece of clothing, no matter how special it was. Meanwhile, in a secure facility in New York, Dr. Hayes was preparing the jersey for its next chapter. She had no idea that LeBron James had already planned something for that jersey that would shock the entire world, something that would bring the whole story full circle in a way no one expected. 1 month after the press conference, the Second Chance Foundation was having its grand opening celebration. The new community center in Akron was beautiful, a large building with meeting rooms, job training centers, childcare facilities, and even a small gym with basketball hoops. Hundreds of families filled the main hall. Some had been helped by the foundation. Others were still waiting for assistance. Many had come just to support the cause and meet the people who started it all. LeBron stood on the stage with Jerome, Sarah Williams, Marcus, Emma, and Dr. Hayes. In LeBron's hands was something that made the entire crowd gasp: his championship jersey, returned from its incredible journey. This jersey has traveled more miles and touched more lives in the past month than it did during my entire basketball career, LeBron told the crowd. It started in my trophy case, went to Jerome when he needed to feed his children, then to the Williams family when they needed something to make them smile, then to collectors who wanted to turn it into help for others. The crowd listened quietly. Many people were crying. But here's what I learned during this whole experience, LeBron continued. This jersey was never really mine. It belonged to every person who believed in the dream. It belonged to my mom, who worked 3 jobs to keep me in basketball. It belonged to Jerome, who shared his lunch with me when we were hungry kids. It belonged to every coach who saw potential in a scared boy from Akron. He held up the jersey so everyone could see it. And now it belongs to all of you. Jerome looked confused. What are you doing, LeBron? LeBron smiled and walked to the center of the stage where a special display case had been set up. But instead of putting the jersey inside the case, he did something completely unexpected. He began cutting the jersey into pieces. The crowd gasped. Some people shouted no. Others looked shocked. LeBron, what are you doing? Maya whispered urgently. Creating something better than a museum piece, LeBron said as he carefully cut the jersey with special scissors. Dr. Hayes stepped forward to help. She had prepared for this moment by measuring the jersey and planning exactly how to cut it. We've divided this jersey into 500 pieces, LeBron announced to the crowd. Every family in the Second Chance Foundation program is going to receive a piece of this championship jersey. The crowd was silent, trying to understand what was happening. This piece of my championship jersey belongs to your family now, LeBron said as Dr. Hayes began mounting small squares of the jersey in individual frames. Not because of what I did on a basketball court, but because of what you're doing in your life, refusing to give up, taking care of your family, helping your community. LeBron walked into the crowd and started handing out the framed pieces. Each frame had a certificate that read, "This piece of LeBron James 2020 championship jersey represents your family's strength, courage, and determination. You are champions." To Sarah Williams, he gave a special piece, the one with the championship patch sewn on it. "For the family that taught us all what the jersey was really meant to do," he said as he handed it to her. Sarah started crying. "LeBron, this is too much. We can't accept this." "You already did," LeBron smiled. "The moment you bought that jersey for $50, you became part of its story." To Jerome, he gave the piece with his name and number 23. "For the friend who reminded me what real championship behavior looks like," LeBron said as he hugged Jerome. Jerome was crying too hard to speak. As LeBron continued giving out pieces of the jersey, something beautiful happened. Families began talking to each other, sharing their stories, exchanging phone numbers. Children who had never met before started playing together. Marcus Williams stepped forward and raised his hand. The crowd became quiet. "Mr. LeBron," Marcus said in his clear 10-year-old voice, "I don't need a piece of the jersey." LeBron knelt down to Marcus's level. "Why not, buddy?" Marcus pointed to his Second Chance Foundation t-shirt. "Because I already have something better. This shirt means I'm part of something that helps people. That's better than just owning something." The crowd erupted in applause. LeBron hugged Marcus tightly. "You're absolutely right, Marcus. You're absolutely right." As the celebration continued, families mingled and shared stories. Mrs. Rodriguez from Sarah's neighborhood was there with her husband, who had found a new job through the foundation's job training program. Mr. Johnson, who had been too proud to ask for help, was now volunteering to counsel other men who had lost their jobs. That Jerome's wife Linda had come with their children. She and Jerome stood together, watching their kids play with other children in the small gym. "I'm sorry I left," Linda said quietly. "I was scared and I thought you had given up." "I had given up," Jerome admitted. "But LeBron reminded me that giving up on yourself and giving up on your family are two different things. I never gave up on you and the kids." Linda took his hand. "I want to help with the foundation. I want to help other families stay together when things get hard." Meanwhile, Maya was showing LeBron the latest numbers. "The foundation has now helped 3,000 families directly," she said. "But the ripple effect is incredible. Other cities have started their own versions. Grocery stores report that the anonymous grocery payments are still happening every day. Schools say more families are asking for help instead of suffering in silence." LeBron watched families around the room. Children were laughing and playing. Parents were networking and finding jobs. Teenagers were signing up for scholarship programs. "Jerome," LeBron called his friend over. "Look around this room. What do you see?" Jerome looked at all the families. "I see people who aren't afraid anymore. People who know they're not alone." "Exactly. And that started because you loved your kids enough to sell my jersey." Jerome shook his head. "No, this started because you loved me enough to forgive me and turn my shame into purpose." LeBron put his arm around Jerome's shoulders. "It started because we remembered what we learned as kids, that we take care of each other." Dr. Hayes approached them with the last piece of the jersey, a small square with just part of the Lakers logo on it. "What should we do with this final piece?" she asked. LeBron looked around the room one more time. He saw Marcus Williams teaching other kids how to shoot basketballs. He saw Sarah talking with other single mothers about job opportunities. He saw Jerome's children playing happily while their parents planned their future together. "Give it to the community center," LeBron said. "Put it in a frame by the front door with a sign that says, 'Everyone who enters here is a champion.'" As the evening wound down, LeBron stood alone in the gym for a few minutes. The championship banner hanging on the wall had been replaced with something better, photos of all the families the foundation had helped. Marcus Williams ran up to him, out of breath from playing basketball. "Mr. LeBron, I have a question." "What's that, Marcus?" "That jersey helped a lot of people, right?" "It sure did. Do you think it's happy? Do you think it likes being split up into pieces and helping so many families instead of just sitting in your trophy room?" LeBron smiled and looked around at all the families in the community center. "Marcus, I think that jersey is happier than it's ever been. It's not just sitting somewhere looking pretty. It's out there making families smile every single day." "Good," Marcus said. "I think so too." As families began to leave, carrying their framed pieces of the championship jersey, Jerome approached LeBron one last time. "I still can't believe this all started because I was desperate enough to sell your jersey." "It didn't start there," LeBron said. "It started when we were kids and you shared your lunch with me. It started every time you chose kindness over selfishness. It started every time someone decided to help instead of judge." They walked out of the community center together, past the new sign by the door that read, "Everyone who enters here is a champion." Outside, families were saying goodbye to each other, making plans to meet again, exchanging help and support. Children were running around, playing games and making new friends. The jersey that had once hung in a trophy case was now scattered across the entire community, but it was doing more good than it ever had as one complete piece. LeBron looked up at the stars above Akron, the same stars he and Jerome had looked at as kids when they dreamed about their futures. "We did it," Jerome said quietly. "Did what?" "What we always said we'd do when we grew up. We took care of our families and helped our neighborhood." LeBron smiled. "I guess we finally did." But even as the celebration ended and families went home to their new lives full of hope and possibility, one final surprise was waiting. A surprise that would prove the jersey's journey was not quite finished yet. 3 weeks after the community center celebration, LeBron was sitting in his hotel room in Miami when Maya knocked on his door. The Lakers were in town to play the Heat, but Maya looked more excited than she did before any basketball game. "LeBron, you need to see this," she said, practically bouncing with excitement. "Something incredible has been happening that we didn't even know about." Maya set up her laptop on the hotel room table and opened a video call. Suddenly, the screen filled with dozens of faces, children, parents, grandparents, all smiling and waving from what looked like different countries. "Who are they?" LeBron asked, confused but intrigued. These are families from around the world who have been inspired by your story, Maya explained. After the press conference, our story didn't just spread across America. It went global. The video call connected fully, and LeBron could hear voices. With different accents speaking in English, a woman from Kenya spoke first. "Mr. LeBron, my name is Grace and Jerry. After we heard about Jerome and the jersey, our community started a food sharing program. When one family has extra, they share with families who don't have enough." A man from India came on screen. "I am Raj Patel from Mumbai. Your story inspired us to create a job training center for fathers who lost work during hard times. We've helped 200 men find new jobs." A teenager from Brazil appeared. "I'm Ana Santos from Sao Paulo. My school started collecting sports equipment to give to kids who can't afford it. We call it the Jersey Project Brazil." LeBron was amazed. "How many countries are represented?" "Here," Maya smiled. 12 countries so far. Australia, Canada, England, France, Germany, Brazil, India, Kenya, South Africa, Japan, Mexico, and the Philippines. One by one, families from different countries shared how LeBron's story had inspired action in their communities. From Australia, "We started Second Chance Sydney to help homeless families find housing." From England, London schools now have programs to help children whose parents are struggling with unemployment. From South Africa, communities in Cape Town are sharing resources and supporting each other like never before. From Japan, Tokyo businesses created a network to hire people who have been out of work for a long time. LeBron listened in wonder, as family after family explained how one story about a championship jersey had inspired a global movement of kindness. But the biggest surprise was yet to come. "Mr. LeBron," Maya said, "tell him about Marcus." A familiar voice came through the speakers. "Hi, Mr. LeBron." LeBron looked at the screen and saw Marcus Williams. But he wasn't calling from Cleveland. He was sitting at a desk with a world map behind him and a stack of letters beside him. "Marcus, where are you, buddy?" "I'm at the Second Chance Foundation office with my mom," Marcus said proudly. "I've been doing something special." Sarah Williams appeared on screen next to her son. "Marcus has been writing letters to children around the world who have been helped by programs inspired by your story." "How many letters?" LeBron asked. Marcus held up his notebook, the same one LeBron had seen before, but now it was much thicker. 237 letters so far. "Emma helps me with the pictures." Little Emma popped into view, holding up colorful drawings. "I draw families helping families." LeBron was speechless. "Marcus, you've been writing to kids in other countries?" "Uh-huh," Marcus said excitedly. "I write to kids whose dads lost jobs, kids whose families were hungry, kids who live in cars like Uncle Jerome's kids did. I tell them that someone cares about them and that things can get better." Marcus picked up one of his letters and read it aloud. "Dear Carlos in Mexico, I heard your family got help finding a new home. My family got help too when we bought a special jersey. LeBron says we're all champions when we help each other. You're a champion for helping your little sister. Your friend, Marcus." LeBron wiped his eyes. This 10-year-old boy had taken the message of hope and spread it around the world. "But that's not all," Sarah said. "Show him the other surprise, Marcus." Marcus held up a package that had arrived in the mail. "Kids from other countries have been sending me things." He opened the package to reveal a small soccer ball from a boy in Brazil. Attached was a note. "Dear Marcus, thank you for your letter. This soccer ball is for you because you made me feel better when my dad was sad. Now my dad has a job and we play soccer together. Your friend, Miguel." Maya showed LeBron her laptop screen. Marcus has received packages from children in 8 different countries. A friendship bracelet from Germany, a small wooden elephant from Kenya, drawings from India, a boomerang from Australia. "It's like the jersey is still traveling," Marcus said. "But now instead of one jersey helping people, it's letters and friendship, traveling everywhere." LeBron was quiet for a long moment, overwhelmed by what he was seeing and hearing. Jerome's voice came through the speakers next. "LeBron, are you there?" "I'm here, Jerome. Do you see what you started? Do you see how your forgiveness and love created this?" "Jerome, I didn't start this. You did. You made the choice that changed everything." "No," said a voice LeBron didn't recognize. "We all started this together." The camera panned to show an entire room full of people, not just the families on the video call. but dozens of people crowded into the Second Chance Foundation office. Dr. Hayes was there with the local families who had received pieces of the jersey. Mrs. Patterson, Jerome's mother, was there with tears of joy on her face. Maya's family had come from California. Even some of LeBron's Lakers teammates who were in town for the game had stopped by. "What's going on?" LeBron asked. "This is your real championship celebration," Jerome said, stepping in front of the camera. "Not for what you did on a basketball court, but for what you did in real life." Marcus stepped forward again. "Mr. LeBron, we wanted to show you that the jersey's journey isn't over. It's just beginning. Every time someone helps another person, every time a family doesn't give up, every time kids in different countries become friends, that's the jersey still working." LeBron looked at all the faces on his screen, faces from around the world, all connected by one story of friendship, forgiveness, and hope. "You know what?" LeBron said finally. "You're all right. The jersey isn't gone. It's everywhere now. Every time someone chooses love over pride, kindness over judgment, hope over despair, that's the jersey still doing its job." A small voice piped up from the crowd. It was Amari, Jerome's youngest daughter. "Uncle LeBron, Daddy says you're the reason our family is happy again. And you're the reason thousands of families around the world are happy," LeBron replied. "All of you." As the video call ended, LeBron sat in his hotel room thinking about the incredible journey that had started with a missing jersey. That jersey, which he had once thought was just a piece of fabric commemorating a basketball victory, had become something much more powerful. That it had become proof that when good people face impossible choices, other good people will step up to help. It had become evidence that no family has to struggle alone. Most importantly, it had become a symbol that small acts of kindness can change the world. Maya packed up her laptop. "Ready for tonight's game?" LeBron stood up and grabbed his current Lakers jersey, the one he would wear that evening against the Heat. "You know what?" he said. "This jersey I'm wearing tonight is just fabric. The real championship jersey, the one that matters, that's out there in 500 pieces with 500 families, and in letters traveling around the world, and in grocery stores, where strangers pay for each other's food, and in communities where neighbors help neighbors." As they left for the arena, LeBron thought about Marcus Williams writing letters to children around the world, about Jerome helping families avoid the desperation he had felt, about Sarah Williams building a better life for her children, and about kids in 12 different countries learning that they're not alone. The championship jersey was gone, cut into pieces and scattered across a community. But its true power, the power to inspire people to take care of each other, that was stronger than ever. LeBron James had discovered his jersey was feeding a family. What he did next didn't just shock the world, it changed it. One desperate act of love had created a global movement of hope, proving that sometimes the most important victories happen not when you win, but when you help someone else believe they can win too. The jersey's journey was complete, but the story it started would continue forever. We'd love to know where you're listening from. Drop a comment and tell us your city or country. It's amazing to see how stories like this connect people from all around the world, just like Marcus's letters did. If this story touched your heart, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring stories that remind us of the power of kindness, friendship, and community. And here's the most important part. Share this video with your friends and family. Just like LeBron's jersey traveled from person to person, spreading hope wherever it went, your share could bring this message of kindness and awareness to someone who really needs to hear it today. Remember, sometimes the most important victories happen when we help each other believe we can win too. Until next time, keep spreading kindness.